To celebrate Black History Month, Ethic is pleased to kick off a short podcast to introduce our new executive director, Dr. Sharon Hill. One of our new board members, Michelle Barkley, recently participated in a get-to-know-you conversation to be shared with a broad audience.
Hello, Dr. Sharon Hill. I'm so glad that you agreed to have this conversation with me because I really am looking forward to introducing you as the new executive director of, well, not so new, you started in September, but of the Emmett Till Historic Intrepid Center, which is located in Glendora, Mississippi. And welcome.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to be here with you.
And I'm one of your board members, and I am super excited about being on the board. I was thrilled to be asked, and I'm looking forward to all the good work that we're going to be able to do in the next couple of years. And my goal with this conversation is basically just to let people know who you are and some history about the center. And let's talk a little bit about your background to kick off. And how did you get involved in this Emmett Till Historic Intrepid Center, which we call Ethic?
Yes. So I am originally from Glendora, Mississippi. I was not born there, but I was raised there and spent most of my life there in Glendora and have known about the Ethic Museum for many years. It was established in 2005. I visited it in 2008. But of course, I had been living between Atlanta, Chicago, and Arlington, Texas, and decided to move back home, relocated back to Mississippi a couple of years ago, probably a year and a half. And one day I happened to be driving by the museum because I thought, okay, I want to find out if it's still there and what's going on. And the mayor of the town, Johnny B. Thomas, happened to be outside the museum, and we engaged in a conversation. And he said, well, great, glad you're back this way so that you can help me with the museum. So it all started from there. That was like June of 2025. I said yes to becoming the director, and here we are.
It's wonderful. Let's talk a little bit about the land where the museum sits in Glendora, and tell us, what is the meaning of that, of the land where the museum sits and the structures around the museum?
Yes. So again, the land that it sits in Glendora is, the museum is located within a barn, or I'm sorry, an old cotton gin. It's located in a cotton gin that was believed to be the place that one of the murderers, J.W. Milam, may have retrieved the fan that was used to place around Emmett Till's neck and to hold him down in the water. J.W. Milam's home was just a few feet from the museum, or it was, again, the cotton gin back at that time. So his house was right there. There were other witnesses who indicated that they saw J.W. Milam go into the cotton gin on that same night that he kidnapped Emmett Till. So that's why we're believing that that fan may have come from the cotton gin. So that land is important for that reason. Also, just across from the museum and across the river, the Black Bayou and the Tallahatchie River is just, a few yards from the site of that cotton gin, which is now the museum. And that is where the body of Emmett Till was pulled from in August of 1955. So that land certainly has that meaning. In addition to the Emmett Till, in that same area, there was also the murder of another African-American man in December of 1955. His name was Clinton Melton, and he was murdered by a friend of J.W. Milam's at a service station there. The guy, his name was Kimbrell, stated that he told Clinton Melton to put $2 worth of gas in his car. He came back out and Melton had filled the car up with gas, as he said he was told to do. And Kimbrell went to his house, got a gun, and killed him. So on that land, we also honor his legacy there with a historical marker. So that land and the structures around it is certainly important to the history of civil rights in the U.S.
Let's talk a little bit about the people coming to see the museum. You've got visitors every single month. Who would you like to see get more involved in Ethic, from visitors to partners?
Okay. And I would say that the majority, probably 75% of the people who visit the museum are from outside of the state of Mississippi. We are also pleased that we have quite a few international visitors. You know, I am amazed. I was there, and there have been people from Poland, from London, from just all over Holland, who come to the museum. So we would certainly like to continue to increase the number of visitors internationally as well as from across the U.S. My focus in terms of, visitors at this point too, is younger people, college students, and as well as high school students, but younger people to come and understand the linkage between our past, our history, and today, as well as the future. So probably pulling in more young voices to hear what they think about the incidents from the past and how it impacts them today, and also providing the fuel needed to be intrepid, to be courageous, to be brave, and that this is the moment in time to be that.
Oh, yes, I love that. So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about so we just kicked off 2026. We're in January, about to head to February. What is the immediate future of Ethic? The next 3 months, next 6 months? What do you think?
The immediate future is quite busy. We're planning several things coming up. One that I'm really excited about is a youth summit. We will be hosting a youth summit in April, from April 16th through the 18th. And in that youth summit, we will be focused on how to improve outcomes for young people, which is why, again, that's back to my point earlier about the need to really pull in the younger people and have them understand the significance of history to where we are today and for the future. So we have the summit that's coming up. In addition to that, I am creating a memorial garden, a reflective garden on the museum properties to honor the legacy of Emmett Till as well as others. That garden is being made possible through a grant with an organization called America in Bloom, and it's amazing to me how you can dream of something. Because even as I've been at the museum, visitors have said to me, it would be nice to have a garden space over here. Because, the topic and the information in the museum is quite heavy, and so people wanted a way to process what they've seen. And so having the garden is just a wonderful ideal, for that. In addition, I'm hoping to create some festivals. This is the 250th year of the Declaration of Independence, and we're, seeking to really elevate and highlight not only civil rights history, but the blues history. Because in that area, Ethic also honors the legacy of Sonny Boy Williamson II, who was an international blues singer. And so we're seeking to also show kind of that convergence between civil rights and the blues, and how, the people of the time, the blues was an expression of their struggles and their day-to-day life. So just bringing those things together.
It sounds wonderful. So you mentioned earlier that the Emmett Till crime happened in 1955, and we just finished 2025. So we're coming up on the 70-year. Well, we're past the 70-year anniversary. Why do you think we still know the name of this child, of this injustice today? Why is this still with us?
Yeah, with us for a couple of reasons. Number one, that tragedy was a pivotal moment in civil rights history. It's said to be kind of the catalyst that really pushed the movement forward. As a matter of fact, several months later was when Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on the bus in December 1955. And she noted that she thought about the murder of Emmett Till, with that. And it's just a thought at that time of, we are not going to take this anymore. Also, 1955 and the murder of Emmett Till showed the brutality of racism because it was directed at a child, a 14-year-old. And I think the past images had a lot to do with adults who were being brutalized. But to see a 14-year-old, an innocent child, becoming victim of racism, the imagery is also important. When Emmett's mother decided that she wanted the world to see what racism looks like in the form of how her child had been beaten and shot and brutalized in any way imaginable, so I think that imagery was something that people cannot get out of their heads. So even today, that continues to last. And when I see, images from, you know, what's going on in Minneapolis now, as well as from George Floyd, the imagery is so impactful. So I think that leads to why, it continues to be a subject of discussion today because people can't get that imagery out of their minds once they've seen it.
It's very true. It's a very powerful image. And I'm going to wrap this up here, end this here, but I just want to say that I'm so grateful that you're doing this work and I'm grateful to be a part of it. And I thank you for your daily work.
Well, and I thank you for highlighting this. And I am so pleased to have you on the board because I know with your passion, your commitment to social justice and all things wonderful and good and true in the world, we're going to move forward rapidly.
Yes, we will. Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you.